Hey there, and welcome. Today, we're going to talk about a word that's everywhere these days: inflation. What does it actually mean for you and your money? Well, let's get to the bottom of why your cash just doesn't seem to buy as much as it used to.
Really think about it. That morning coffee, your groceries for the week, filling up the gas tank. It feels like everything is slowly but surely getting more expensive. What used to get you a full shopping cart now barely fills a couple of bags. And no, you're not just imagining it. There's a really powerful economic force at work here.
So, what is this invisible force? Let's break it all down. We're kicking things off with what we're calling the shrinking wallet effect. Because, let's be honest, that's exactly what it feels like.
Okay, so here's the textbook definition. Now, the two most important words you need to focus on are general and sustained. General means it's not just one item, like when avocados get pricey for a month. No, this is a broad price hike across tons of different things. And sustained means it's not just a one-off event, it's a trend that keeps going over time.
And this right here boils it all down perfectly. It's the simplest way to think about it. That $20 bill in your pocket is still a $20 bill, but what it can buy you has gone down. Its real value, its purchasing power, has shrunk.
All right, that's the what. But what about the why? Why does this even happen in the first place? To figure that out, we've got to pop the hood and take a look inside the economy's engine room. It turns out there are a couple of main culprits.
And here they are, side by side. First, you've got demand-pull inflation. The easiest way to think about this is too much money chasing too few goods. Imagine a hot new gaming console is released, but there aren't enough to go around. What happens? Prices go up, right? That's demand pull. Then you've got cost-push inflation. This is when it costs more to make things. Maybe energy prices spike or raw materials get more expensive. While companies aren't just going to eat that cost, they pass it along to you, the consumer, in the form of higher prices.
But wait, there's more. It's not just those two. You've also got other factors that can pour fuel on the fire. For one, if there's a whole lot of new money and credit suddenly floating around the economy, people just have more to spend, which pushes demand and prices up. And then there's this really fascinating psychological one: expectations. If we all think prices are going to be higher next year, what do? We might ask for a raise, or businesses might raise their prices now to get ahead of it. It can literally become a self-fulfilling prophecy.
So, with everything we've talked about, rising prices, shrinking wallets, it's really tempting to just label inflation as the bad guy, right? But believe it or not, the truth is a lot more nuanced. For an economy, it's all about a really delicate balance. And here's the part that might surprise you. A little bit of inflation isn't just okay, it's actually seen as a sign of a healthy, growing economy. It means people are working, they're spending money, and businesses feel confident enough to invest.
This really lays out the two sides of the coin. On one hand, you have moderate inflation. It's kind of predictable, it's manageable, it's just the hum of a healthy economy. But on the other hand, you have high inflation, and that's where the real trouble begins. It can be incredibly destructive and create a ton of instability.
And here's why it's so dangerous. High inflation literally eats away at the savings you've worked so hard to build. It creates this cloud of uncertainty that makes it almost impossible for a family to plan a budget or for a business to decide on a long-term investment. And when the future feels that unpredictable, people and companies tend to just stop spending and investing, which can grind the whole economy to a halt.
Okay, so if high inflation is this big, scary monster, who's supposed to tame it? Who are the guardians standing watch over the economy?
In most countries, that job falls to the central bank. You can think of them as the economy's thermostat. Their number one mission is to keep things from getting too hot or too cold, and their main way of doing that is by making sure inflation stays stable and predictable.
So how do they pull this off? Well, it's a constant two-step dance. First, they are always, and I mean always, monitoring prices on everything, collecting mountains of data. Then, if they see inflation starting to creep up too high, they step in and act. Their biggest and most powerful tool is adjusting interest rates. By making it more expensive to borrow money, they can gently tap the brakes on spending and cool the whole economy down. It's all about finding that balance.
And that really brings us to the key takeaway from all of this. The target isn't to get rid of inflation completely. Zero inflation might actually mean the economy isn't growing at all. The real goal is stability. It's about creating a predictable environment where we can all have confidence that the money we earn today will be worth about the same tomorrow.
Which, of course, leaves us with one final big question to think about. In a world that's always changing, with new technology and global events shifting everything around, the job of keeping that balance is never truly done. So what do you think is the perfect price for keeping our economy stable?
Something to chew on. Thanks for joining me today.